This is Chicago's very own WGN Midday News.
And still to come in today's Midday Fix, we learn about the benefit of laughter coming up this weekend. I'll tell you all about it. In today's Midday Fix, we're learning about the second annual Benefit of Laughter comedy fundraiser to benefit Willow House, which provides services to those suffering the death of a loved one. I'm here with Wozniak and Elly Lemmons. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And I want to talk about this concept of grief when you lose someone you love and the value of support and counseling after that, because it's both physically and emotionally so draining. As a therapist, as someone who helps people out, talk about the value, but also the consequences if you don't let it out.
Yeah, with grief, there's so many different emotions that we're all feeling, and they can be really complicated, and it's hard to identify specific emotions that we might be feeling. And so it's really important for one to be able to express that, whether it's in a peer support group or an expressive arts group, but just to be able to express those feelings to help us continue to learn coping skills throughout life. If those feelings aren't addressed and processed, then it can lead to some different social and emotional and even academic issues later in life.
And those last a lifetime. And Elly, I know you lost your father. I'm so sorry for your loss. Can you put into words the value of being able to get the kind of help and support that you needed at that time?
You know, at the time, I think I valued it less. I was really young. I was 11 when my dad passed away, and so going in and having therapy that wasn't forced, but, you know, wasn't exactly something that I was super excited about in the first place, wasn't fantastic at first, but now that it's been almost 7 years and I've been going to Willow House for such an extended period of time, I've been able to reflect and look back and truly see all the values of Willow House. And I think the biggest thing that it really did for me was to help me feel a lot less isolated. And when I did open up about my feelings, and it gave me a safe space to really start that conversation with peers that were my own age, because I didn't have that same opportunity at school, versus Willow House is specifically a directed, safe place where you even split into separate groups eventually, so you can really focus in with your own peers about how you're specifically processing.
And I know there are many adults who don't know how to talk about death, so certainly it's really challenging with children and kids at the time. But you had an added challenge. Not only did you lose a parent, but your father died of a drug overdose. And so there's a stigma that is involved with that, which is incredibly sad, but something that you had to deal with as well.
Yeah, so my dad was addicted to heroin, and he was a heroin addict from the time I was about 2, so it was something that I lived with for a long time. Now, I didn't know about it for a long of the whiles of the process, and I didn't actually know that my dad was addicted to heroin until he had passed away, that it was that specifically. I knew that things were wrong, but when it came to the time where he actually passed, talking about it seemed that much more scary. A lot of people who lose someone, especially at such a young age, talk about how it was from something more natural or from something that was more out of control, it's seeming, but a lot of people view addiction as something that's a lot more in control, and so people tend to judge, you know, the way that you heal, because they look at it as they had a choice on if they died, and so that then impacts you, and they lessen your grief because of the negative way and the negative associations that came from death. But when I went into group, there was a girl who was also a teenager who had lost her mom to a drug overdose. And so hearing that specifically, even if I wasn't able to start that conversation with her yet and feel comfortable, just knowing that I wasn't the only young kid who was going through such like a hard, difficult concept was just really reassuring.
Well, it's such a huge problem in this country, and I hope that by you speaking out, I thank you for your bravery, that you'll help others. And the other thing is having an event where people laugh. Laughter is so healing. I feel like this is the best idea ever for people who are grieving, for people who want to support all the great work that's going on at Willow House. So ladies, thank you so much for speaking out and being here today and having this event. It's called The Benefit of Laughter, and it is March 7th at the Gorton Community Center on East Illinois Road in Lake Forest. If you you want more information about the event or about Willow House, if you know someone who could benefit, visit willowhouse.org. And we will, of course, have a link on our website at WGNTV.com/midday.